Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Conscious Cruiser. This is episode number 28. I know because it says so on the paper. Yeah, and we're going to talk about Alaska today with Scott from Controversial Cruising, Alisa from Alisa's Adventures in Cruising, and I'm Chet from Sea Lake Journeys, and we'll be right back after this.
Welcome into the Conscious Cruiser podcast, the know before you go approach to cruising and travel. The smartest cruiser is the Conscious Cruiser. And your conscious casters, Alisa, Chet, and Scott.
All right. I'll tell you what, this is a great topic we got today, guys. Alaska.
I love
Alaska.
it. I love Alaska. Alaska.
Yes.
And it's really great because I want to let everybody know out there on Spotify and in YouTube that all three of us have been to Alaska on a cruise. So we're speaking not just from watching it, but also from our own personal experiences this morning.
Yeah. You inspired me to go to Alaska, actually, Chet. You and Robin.
If you haven't been, y'all, I just say you got to go. Hopefully after this episode, you will be booking your cruise to Alaska. And we're going to kick it off with our first question right here. In your opinion, we're going to start with our opinions this morning. Why has Alaska become so popular to cruise to? You know, in 2024, 2025, 2026, the numbers just keep going up. Cruise lines keep sending more ships there. What is making it so popular, in your opinion? And, of course, we're going to kick it off with ladies first. Alisa.
And I always pause like, oh, well, I don't know. Let's see what somebody else says.
Every week.
Every time I fall for it every time. I think, Alaska is just, it has this mystery about it. We're all kind of generally fascinated. That last frontier, Americans like to feel like we're really having an adventure. And so the cruise seems like the perfect opportunity to go and to see and experience, especially if you're a cruiser anyway. So yeah, I don't know if it's just that all of a sudden we learned that more ships were going, or cruise lines that we know and already love are going. And so we have taken the opportunity to hop on board. But it does seem like everybody's going to Alaska right now.
It really
Well,
does.
not literally right now, but recent years.
Oh, yeah, over the last couple of years, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You want to know what I think, in my opinion, I think it attributes to, coming out of the pandemic, right? And we had all of us cruisers that have cruised before, experienced cruisers, right? Waiting to cruise, right? Ready in the wings. They have deposits on cruises. They've gotten money back and they're ready to go. Right. And all of a sudden, as soon as that opened, what I think in 2022 or 2023, whenever the resurgence happened, right, all of us hopped on all of these Caribbean cruises, like back to back to back to back. It was like, oh, I'm going to Cozumel again. I'm going to Bahamas again. I'm going here again. Right. And then we came to 2024 and all of us were like, okay, well, what's next? Right. And I don't know who it was first that went to Alaska and put it on YouTube. And then we were all like, wait, Alaska? We can cruise there? You can even fly there and you could cruise the innards instead of the out. Like, we're doing it. And then one person did it, then everybody did. And then everybody was like, wow, let's cruise to Alaska. And I think it was really what else is out there, right? We started to ask ourselves what else is out there instead of Antarctica or going to the other side of the world, like Mr. Bill, like the Japan. I don't have 29 days to go to Japan, right? So it's like,
love that.
And everybody was like, oh, wow, this is cool. I can eat crab legs. I can go on little boats to see glaciers. I can go in helicopters and see eagles, eat salmon out of the creek. Like, what? I'm going. Right. And that's what I really think. And then as more of us started to go and put it on YouTube, Chet, myself, Alisa, everybody else was like, now I want to go. Right. Even those who only have 2 or 3 cruises under their belt, they're like, okay, I've seen the Caribbean. Now I want to go to Alaska. I'm like, dude, you haven't even been going to the Southern Caribbean. They're like, that's okay. We can go there. I want to go to Alaska. It's 2025. Everyone's going. Like, okay.
There you go.
Hop on this Carnival Spirit.
Y'all are both right, I think.
But you were going before. You went before then,
Yeah.
so I definitely want to hear what your reason is for it
Chet was
being
first.
so popular.
Well, I'll tell you what, the pandemic really is a reason, I believe. 2020, 2021, we're sitting around. I had never watched YouTube before, ever. Suddenly, I find myself watching YouTube. And what do I come across? Cruising stuff, which I love anyway. I've been cruising for 15 years. And so I wanted to see, well, what can I go to after this is lifted? Guess what came up? Alaska, right on. So, of course, we had to go up there. We checked it out. And we did a 7-day cruise. It was so fantastic that we had to go back again and then do a land and sea cruise. Fantastic. And with other people sitting around watching YouTube during the pandemic like myself, there was a whole bunch of people wanting to go to Alaska. And then vloggers, we did not even have a channel until we came back from there. And we said, you know what? We got to start a YouTube channel. People need to see this because I found videos, of course, of Alaska, but I thought we need more. We need better.
Yeah.
And, I think the YouTube explosion that came out of the pandemic is a key factor, along with what y'all just said, to make Alaska boom like it is today.
Yeah,
definitely. There's got to be some unreleased footage from all the way back then. That was your first Alaska trip. That's kind of crazy. What did you guys go out of Seattle for that first trip?
No, we went out to Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver! Wow,
fancy.
Wow.
It was really cool. And we weren't, like I say, we weren't a YouTube channel, so we just took mostly just pictures and stuff. And so trying to do an Alaska with just pictures, not knowing what we was doing, not even thinking about actually doing it for YouTube, just doing it for ourselves, we realized we got to go back again and do a better job of this. And and so we did.
You got to go back to Alaska.
Twist your arm.
Didn't do a very good job of filming that time. I'm gonna go back.
Go back. Do it again.
That's why there's such a big difference between our first Alaska cruise video and our second one. The second cruise we went to was like night and day. But,
and the first one was on what cruise line? What ship?
The Golden Princess, which isn't even in the fleet anymore. It got sent down to P&O Australia, which is no more either now. So now I think it's sent back to be a Carnival ship. I don't know which one of those Carnival ships it is. There's a couple of them. If you check out the ones coming from P&O Australia, I do believe one of those used to be the Golden Princess.
Wow.
But, that's could be wrong on that, but it's the same ship. And the second time we went on a Majestic Princess, and we just loved it. We're going to go back again one day, and y'all are going with us.
Yeah, I've heard
definitely going back.
I've heard Princess does Alaska really well. I went on Carnival both times that I went. I think, did you go on Carnival too, Alisa?
I did go on Carnival. Yeah, I did. I went on the Spirit. I had a great time. I would like to go again on a different cruise line and ship. The Carnival, the Spirit class ships are great, but I would like a little more room. A little more room.
More things to do.
Yeah.
I highly recommend the Majestic Princess. To me, it was built for the Asian market, but I believe it was a superior ship for doing Alaska. And if you see our video, you'll kind of looking at the ship, you'll see why I think that. But let's move on to number 2 question here, y'all. We got a lot of information to cover. I'm sure everybody out there wants to hear it too, right? And this time we will start with the guys. How about that, Alisa? I'll give you a break.
Sure.
Number 2, what is a must-have item? And Scott, I know you got an answer for this one, brother. What is a must-have item for cruising to Alaska?
This one's easy for me, and if I don't say this one, Alisa is going to use the Uno reverse card and reverse back to me anyway. So what I am going to say is, no matter how you look in a hat, okay, and no matter when you go to Alaska, okay, you bring yourself a hat. And no, I'm not talking about a captain's hat, okay, even though I'm putting on a captain's hat. No, it's one of those that cover your ears, okay, a ski hat or a beanie, whatever you want to call it, right? Because when you get down there, if you're walking around, which you are walking around, all of the ports are very, walk intensive, right? It's cold. And then you have to go into the market and buy a 2 for $20 and then send a video to Alisa and say, guess what? You were right. I should have brought a hat, even though I looked like a dweeb in a hat. Okay. And you want to know that may or may not have happened. And I may or may not still have that hat. And I may or may not wear it in Arizona. But when I go back to Alaska for the third time, I will not make this mistake again. And this hat will come with me. So I don't have to, be humiliated again and be cold. half of Skagway was Skagway, half of Skagway. So.
No, we have to, for those who don't know this story, we do have to say, and he did say that, he reached out in a video talking about being cold in Alaska. So it wasn't just me going, you need to pack a hat, Scott. I was like, it was more like, why don't you put on a hat if you're cold?
Hey, and you can even wear one of those things that go around your head and just cover your ears, like it's like a headband. You can get away with that. But I'm telling you, the coldest part is your extremities, your fingers and your toes, right? So cover your ears, and then I'll give you a bonus one, right? That not a lot of people think of. Those little hand warmers. I would always bring those little hand warmers, right? If you have a hoodie, you can keep them in your pocket like you're a quarterback and keep your hands in there, and then you're all warm, or you keep them in your pockets, or you just keep them as you're walking down the street, because it is chilly, even if you're from, like, let's say Boston, where you're used to the cold, it's still cold in Alaska. It's Alaska. It's Alaska. But yeah, those are my must-haves.
Good ones. What about you, Alisa?
Well, I'm going to go along with I have two, but I'm going to go along with what Scott is saying about the weather, because both of you guys suggested to me having one of those 3-in-1 type jackets. And now if you live in a place where you don't think you're going to get enough wear out of it to justify the cost, that's understandable. But be prepared to dress in layers and have something in case it's rainy/snowy, or if it's just cold, or it's a little chilly. So the 3-in-1 would work perfect, because you could just take off a layer or add on a layer if you need to. But really, what I would love to just say is, none of us are afraid of the cold. We got this. So make sure you have a camera. Because it is the views are unbelievable, and as you're trying to tell your family and friends who've never been before, it's like seeing is believing. You can't. I still don't feel like I really captured what I wanted to capture the way I wanted to capture it, but you got to be able to show, or be able to look back on your pictures and video.
100%. And I will say one thing too, Alisa. I know I had referred the 3-in-1 Columbia, and now I know that's like $129.99 or whatever, right? And if you don't want to invest in something like that, there are so many companies now that have hopped on that 3-in-1 train.
Yeah.
I actually just sent a really good one. I read a whole bunch of reviews online. I sent one to Michelle from Cruise Life TV for her birthday, because they're going to Alaska for the very first time.
Nice.
And I even told her, hey, I know you live in Florida, but that last layer, just that first layer, you could still wear in Florida. It's kind of like a little windbreaker, right?
Yep.
And when I was there and visiting them, I even wore a hoodie or a little like throw over jacket, which is kind of like the same thing. She's like, yeah, I didn't even think about that. But obviously, definitely going to use it for Alaska. So there are so many more in between. I think it was, you can get them anywhere between $60 and $129 if you wanted to do like that, the Columbia. So yeah, they're definitely come in handy.
Well, we did the jacket from Princess. Since we were going on Princess, it's $35, and I
heard about that.
Yeah, we got it on sale for $25. So it's waterproof, and it's not so heavy that you're going to burn up in it, and it's not so light that it's no good. It's actually I thought, the perfect jacket for Alaska, and it was a perfect price too, because really I'm in Florida, it sits in my closet, but when we go to Alaska, it's perfect. And so I thought, if you're going on Princess, they have that jacket available to you. But my go-to thing is, Lisa talking about what you're going to see. It's the one cruise that I absolutely had to have a balcony. Any other time, I don't care. I'll get an interior room. I don't care. But in Alaska, I recommend getting a balcony room and having your binoculars, because there's going to be so much to see. Set your camera up on the tripod and then get your binoculars and look around, because it's huge. They say Texas is big. Alaska is enormous. And you're going to need binoculars that see the stuff that's over there. You're going to see waterfalls. You're going to want to look up closer at them. You're going to see a bear down there turning a rock over. You're going to want to look closer. You're going to see little otters on an ice thing floating by.
Yes, the otters.
You're going to want to look at them, and you got to have binoculars. And I'm going to give you an extra one. If you do go up on excursions, on glaciers and stuff, the hat is great for blocking the sun. You got to have your hat, like Scott said, but also get some suntan lotion. You think you don't need it? Robin from Sea Lake Journey's got sunburnt on the glacier.
Yeah.
Sunburnt in Alaska. And
you always need your sunscreen. Yep.
Yeah. So we've covered a lot of stuff there. Anybody else got anything else, though? Alisa, you said you had something else? Another thing?
No. Oh yeah, no, I was just agreeing about the sunscreen, because it's a weird mix of weather. We're all preparing for the cold, but the sun is strong too. I wasn't on a glacier, but close to the glacier. It was, very, very reflective. So that's a good tip. What else? What else did we have to? I had my hand warmers. The binoculars were good. Binoculars were an interesting thing, because I definitely had them and I used them, but there were a lot of times that I was like, "Where are the binoculars? Where are the binoculars?" So you want to have them handy. You want to have them handy. So I don't suggest, unless you're really into that kind of thing, having the super big ones that are heavy, because you're not gonna have them around when you need them. So have something that's lightweight, or you can have in a jacket pocket or something.
Small ones.
Yeah.
30 by 60 is all you need. That's like you don't need these big, huge ones. I got a little $15 ones from Amazon. And when I was on the glacier, I saw those otters, and I saw an otter hold up a squeaky and do a double squeaky. That's how close I came. Exactly, Chet. I thought he stole them from you.
Yeah, and you can buy the binoculars on the ship if you do forget, just in case. But yeah, you're going to want them. Hey, you know what? Right now, I want to make sure we let everybody know who today's sponsor is. We've got a great sponsor for today's show, and she's sitting right here with us. It's Alisa!
This episode of The Conscious Cruiser is sponsored and supported by Alisa's Adventures in Cruising and the Monday Mood Check. Check out the Monday Mood Check every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern. For some exciting cruise talk, munch pack reviews, and even some home cooking. So start of your week right every week with Alisa and the Monday Mood Check. Don't miss it. And now back to the Conscious Cat.
You're making everybody hungry.
How about that? I'm going to beat Scott there tonight, too. I'm going to beat her.
You want to know what, Chet? We requested cookies last week or the week before, and we got them. Did you believe?
Oh, my goodness.
I smelt them from the Mood Check.
They were good.
I gained a half a pound just watching her cook.
Can you imagine if we did have smell-o-vision? Oh my gosh.
The cooking shows would be the thing to do, man.
Never know what you're going to get on the Monday Mood Check. That's
never know. So come on in. It's a lot of fun.
You're going to have a good mood. Even if you don't have one when you come in, you'll have one when you leave.
Thanks,
right?
guys.
I got a fill in the blank question for you now.
Uh-oh.
And we'll go back to Alisa first on this one. Fill in the blank, Alisa. The one excursion I would do in Alaska if money was not an issue would be blank. And why?
And I think you guys have actually done this one, but I want to do there's so many excursions in Alaska. So many in each of the ports. So like it's easy to have a list.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But I would like to do the helicopter ride to the glacier and get off and do that. And I can't remember if that involved a dog sled team there as well. Yeah, I want the super deluxe one. I don't want to just get to the glacier.
Money's no object here. Money's no object. You get the one you want.
I want to do that. I want to drink from the little stream you did. All that.
Okay.
So if money was no object, that's the one that I would pick. That's the one I most got my eye on. But like I said, there's so many.
He said, "Give me the filet mignon, yo."
The super deluxe. And don't forget the crab legs.
Money wasn't an option. Give it to me all. Let me do it all. Let me
No,
feed
no,
the
you're right.
dogs.
But with money not being an object here, Scott, and you could pick one, which one would it be?
For me, it would be an excursion that I have done before. I would recommend time and time again. Every time I go to this specific location, which is Tracy on Fjord, it's the only excursion to do. But for me, I think it is the best excursion that is offered in Southeast Alaska. In my opinion, and that is the Glacier Express, which is the smaller boat, it is the boat, yes, not a ship, a smaller boat that you take to the glaciers, South Sawyer and North Sawyer Glacier. If you're lucky, you were definitely guaranteed to see one. I got to see two because we had such a clear day and it was like glass on the water. So we were able to get up to the smaller glacier, which is, I believe, north. And then we went to the larger one, which is south. And man, oh man, the glacieritas, the salmon dip, the MC on the microphone or the person who was talking. I mean, amazing, amazing experience. I would do it every single time. We saw every part of wildlife that you could imagine that was in Alaska, from eagles to bears to the trout that was there, the salmon, excuse me. I mean, there was so much to see. The otters, like I said, with the little double squeaky. I mean, amazing, amazing, amazing. When we got so close, it was incredible. And they actually said this was, I don't know if they say this every time, but they say that it was the closest they were able to get anybody within that year because of how calm it was. Because a lot of times when it's not that calm and the boat goes up, it causes what they call like disruption or erosion, and it actually prohibits us or can prohibit us from further making trips there, because obviously if we destroy it as
that's a major oops. That's a major oops.
A major oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's so fascinating about that excursion, or what looks so I didn't do that one, but you know, you're twisting through the fjords anyway on the big ship, and you're like, your mind is blown because it's just such an immersive experience. You feel like you can reach out and touch the mountains anyway, and you don't think that you can get any closer. You feel like it's really tight. Are we close? Are we too close? Are we going to hit that? You know, and then to think that they're going to take you onto another boat and wind in even further, deeper is pretty amazing. So it's on the list. I'm going to try that one of these trips to Alaska. Like I have so many planned, but I'm going to try that one of these days.
And even the bigger ships, like you don't even realize, right? I when I saw Tracy Arman, we were there for 10, 12. I'm like, we're going up to come back and it's going to take 10 hours. That is ridiculous. But then you see, once you get into the fjord, they're going like this. It's so slow because, again, Alisa said you're so close to everything that if our ship, the cruise ship, is going fast, it's going to cause some damage. So I'm telling you, you go up very slow. You do a little turnaround really slow. They stay there for like 45 minutes so everybody can take pictures. And then they start heading back down the fjord very slow. Okay. And then the Glacierita, or the Glacier Express, not the Glacierita. That's the drink you get on the ship. The Glacier Express
must have been good.
At a certain point down the fjord, and then gets you back onto the larger ship. So it's to this day the best excursion that I've ever done in my life. So
nice.
That's one I will do next time I go. But I got to tell you though, if I've already done it, like Alisa said, took the helicopter ride up to Mendenhall Glacier, landed there, rode the dog sled around. I would do that again right now. It's very expensive, but you know what? If you think about Alaska as a bucket list thing, and you may only go there once, a lot of people only go there one time. True. Save your money, wait until you can go and spend your money on these excursions, because you can't do them anywhere else. A helicopter ride to a glacier, walk around, ride dog sleds. I mean, it was so awesome. I can't even explain it to you. We do have the video, of course. We have a short and a full-length video. And, just when I see it, I watched it, a couple months ago again. And when I was like just blown away, even just watching the video, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do that again. I got to do that again. I don't care how much it costs. If I go back, I'm going to do that again. It was just that awesome. But I'll do one step better for you guys. I want to add in the extra sea leg journey tip here for you. If you're going back to Alaska, which I know y'all guys want to do, not just about the excursions, but think about doing. We went back the second time and we did the land and the sea. We did the 7-day cruise, and then we got off once again with Princess again. Took the Princess train up to the lodge. It was a 9-hour train ride. You get to see a lot of Alaska. We stayed in 2 different lodges over the course of that week and got to do a lot of fun excursions. And like Alisa said, there's so many excursions to do. Even go up on land, there's even more excursions, different kinds of excursions that you'll want to do. So next time you go, guys, think about booking it a little longer. Make it a 10-day, 12-day, 14-day vacation, and do 7 days on the sea and as many days as you can on land. Yeah, you won't regret it. If I go back, I really want to do it that way again, because there's still so much more in Alaska to see and do.
Anything over a 14-day, we got to call it the bill, though. So we got to cut it off at the 14, because I don't think we're keep on scrolling. I don't have enough 14.
We did 12 we did just the 12, 7 on land and 5, or 7 on sea and 5 on land. And I thought, man, next time I go, I want to do 7 on land.
Nice. So you definitely were not disappointed by adding that extra land portion on.
No, absolutely not. It was so fantastic. So fantastic. Even if we got, once again, I'm shameless plug here, but we got a video from just the train ride going to the lodge. And I just captured some of the things we got to see, which are epic. We went by a place where the tide is a 33-foot difference between low and high tide.
Wow.
And you can see where the tide is washed out and what it looks like. And there's so many other things to see. And
33? I love that.
33 foot from low tide to high tide. It goes up 33 feet. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's a tide.
And just when you said train, I did really enjoy the train in Skagway. I enjoyed Skagway in general, but I would do that one again as well. So if people are on the fence on it, it's like, it's just a train. Like, it's a beautiful train ride. It really is. You see so much. So
it is. Yes, I did that one too. We did it halfway. We did the bus up. It's called a Yukon excursion. Did that train ride back. It was fantastic. We could talk about Alaska all day, guys.
Oh, we can. I love Alaska. We really can.
Alaska part 2, part 3, part 4. I mean, we can. So yeah, everybody's listening. They're on Spotify. If you want to see these videos, you can check us out on YouTube. And if you're YouTubers, if you're driving in your car, put on that Spotify and be sure to listen to the Conscious Cruiser there while you're on your way to your port, while you're on your way back from your cruise, while you're on your way to the grocery store.
Yep.
We got some good tips here for you on the Conscious Cruiser.
I think we're good company.
We are. And we look a lot better apparently on Spotify. That Chet says. So.
Well, y'all look great on YouTube. I look on Spotify. Hey, we got one more question for you, though, guys. The question of the cast. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Ready.
We'll let Scott lead off. Ladies, give you a break here, Alisa. Of all the Alaskan ports to cruise, which one is your favorite? Which one of those Alaska ports are your favorite? And why? Scott? Yeah, I want to see you pick a favorite here. See if you can do that. See, y'all can't see this on Spotify, but Scott is intently.
He's really thinking. I mean, I feel like I need to just jump in and help him out while he's trying to narrow it down.
It's between Skagway and Ketchikan, but I'm going to go Ketchikan. I'm going to go Ketchikan. For the simple fact that it is, they are all great places to explore. But I am one, even if I go to Alaska or I don't go to Alaska, I don't really do too many excursions, right? The Glacier Express was kind of one of those like bucket list things. I probably will do it again now, having the experience, but I like to go to places and explore. I like to go shopping. I like to go into different places to eat. I like to go into different venues and just look around, right? I just like to explore the land and go into bars and things like that. Ketchikan is a great port for that. And it has one of my favorite bars. The Arctic bar is down there too in Ketchikan. It's a really great port, and it offers so many things for you to do. And it's one of my favorites. I love just spending the day in Ketchikan, honestly doing nothing but just walking around and getting into trouble.
Get into trouble.
Well, that's a good pick.
I kind of, you know,
Are there wanted posters up for you? Get into trouble.
no.
Ketchikan, I enjoy Ketchikan, but I did a tour, the Native Village tour that day, and so I feel like I could go back and see more of the town itself. So that's a good one. But I kind of jumped ahead in mentioning the train in Skagway because I really did enjoy my day in Skagway. If you haven't been there yet, the town, I don't even know how to describe it other than it's something like out of a movie set. It really is idyllic. It really, like, you're just surrounded by the mountains. It's kind of like an old Western town vibe. There was a lot to do. There was a lot a lot of shopping. There was a lot of places to eat. I really enjoyed it. So I think Ketchikan or Skagway would be on my list to head back to.
I agree. I got off the ship and I thought I was in Arizona. I was like, wait, where did we? And then I was like, oh no, we are definitely not in Arizona. No. Let me get my hoodie. No. Sorry. But
Where's my hat?
It was Western and something out of a movie. When I went there, I was like, wow. And you walk down, and as you walk down, it gets more Western, and you're just like looking down everywhere. Like old saloon in here. You walk through like the doors that go, from the cartoon. They still exist. They do.
They do, apparently.
They've got a show down there, the Days of '98 show. You're talking about the gold rush of 1898. So it's just like you said, a movie set, and then it's got that show you can go in there and watch. It's a really cool. So I'm gonna have to be different though. I'll pick Juneau since y'all pick Ketchikan Skagway.
Yeah.
Juneau, it's got the Red Dog Saloon if you like that kind of saloon thing. You can go get you a duck fart there and shamelessly, we do have a video on that too. Yes, but you also got Robert's Tram and all the Mendenhall Glacier and all kinds of stuff there at Juneau to do. And you can't go wrong with any of these three ports, y'all. I was like Scott. I was doing this, rubbing my chin, scratching my head all morning. And I asked Robin from Sea Lake Journeys, and she did the same thing. Scratched her chin, her head, and went. I
can't just pick one. Yeah.
Can't pick. Yeah.
Have you ever had any of the other farts? Any of you guys? So there is a duck fart. There's a moose fart. There's a crab fart. There's a reindeer fart. And there's one more fart that I can't remember, but eagle fart. I think an eagle fart or bear fart. Bear fart. That's what.
So what you're saying is I've got to go to Alaska at least 4 more times to sample. If I sample one of these each time I go, I need 4 more cruises to Alaska.
Or if I was more prepared, I could show you. But there is a bar there that has I think they call it the fart passport. So they have all of those on a card, like a punch card, and you would go to the different bars that are featured for those. I mean, you can get the moose fart at any bar, but there is one bar that's particularly famous for moose farts, and then you go to that bar and they stamp your moose fart. You have a moose fart, and then you move on and have a crab fart, and move on to have a duck fart, which is at the Red Dog Saloon, and then you move on to have and they call it farting around Juneau.
I'm not sure. I'm not necessarily encouraging this behavior, but I think you shared that with our friends at Edna's World when they were heading on the groupcation, and I think they made a pretty good go of it. I don't know if they got them all, but they made their rounds. So you guys can check out the Edna's World too.
My strategy and go with 1 per visit.
No,
that way I can go back 5 times.
No.
Otherwise, I won't remember seeing Juneau.
Oh, that's funny.
And I will add one more thing. Now that you did say Juneau too, I'm remembering. If you are a crab leg lover in Juneau, I know no matter what cruise line you go on, they're going to be shoving Tracy's Crab Shack down your throat. Now, not that saying that Tracy's isn't good, because they have the same crab legs as this place that I'm going to mention now, but Tracy's gets paid by the cruise lines to promote that. So in turn, you guys are paying the marketing dollars for Tracy's, and that same crab leg, you can walk right around the corner, and this is facts, You can, this is an opinion, walk right around the corner to Alaskan Brewing Company and sit there and have the same crab legs, the same everything for half the price. I think it's like $74.95 or whatever, right? And even if you are a beer drinker and a liquor drinker, you can go right next door to the Depot, which is the gift shop, and sign up to take their little bus or tram to their actual brewery and do like a little, flight or whatever. And if you're a Costco member, it's next to the smallest Costco in the world, so you can go and have fun too. And again, it's all free. You just throw the driver $5 and they're happy, and boom, they take you right back to the port area, right? Actually back to the depot where you can see the ship and you get right back on the ship. So it's super, super cool, and it's free and it's awesome. Well, the crab legs aren't free, but they're
definitely not free. Crab legs.
I think they're up to, I price checked. I think Tracy's was up to $135 a pound or something like that for the crab.
I don't know. I don't remember. But I have to say, it's location. They definitely have the prime spot, and it's very enticing. Very, very enticing to go there and hang out and get your crab legs and all that. So
Alaska Brewing Depot, right around, like I'm telling you, you just go right around the corner to the street and go, oh, there's the place that Controversial Cruising was talking about. Yep, there you go. Thank me later.
It's there. It's there.
Well, everybody out there on YouTube and Spotify, we sure hope you've had as much fun listening to this episode as we have had making it.
Definitely.
It's been a true pleasure being here today with Scott from Controversial Cruising, Alisa from Alisa's Adventures in Cruising, and I'm Chet from Sea Lake Journeys. And we'll let you go until episode number 29 comes out with Alisa on her channel. And it's going to be about your first time cruising. Some of that know before you go stuff that you're going to want to listen to episode 29 for, to get those tips that you need to have the best cruise experience you can have.
That's right. Hey, should we do a part 2 to Alaska maybe later in the season? Like this will be like a kickoff, and maybe
why not?
Good.
With
why
more
not?
questions and give you guys more stuff about Alaska, because I feel like we could talk about Alaska over and over.
Yeah. We could.
We'll do a part 2.
Watch for that in the future, conscious cruisers.
Bye, everybody. Thanks so much, and hopefully we'll see you tonight on the Monday Mood Check.
I'll beat you, Chet.
will.
Bye.